You guys are saying I must be missing. I had to be missing a bunch of comments. Let's see. I did. Was extorted into $50 million contract where I can set my own schedule. Me too. I wish I was extorted into being able to set up my own schedule and get $50 million. I would love it. I will love it. And I could do work elsewhere too as well. Nigga, you crazy. I'll definitely take that contract. As long as it's like I have my own freedom to do other things. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, someone offered me a contract for the Real Talk with BX Beast Boys show. It was like, yo, man, just gonna be on our platform. And if you're willing to edit it and produce it your own and just give us the 5 episodes ahead of time, we'll give you this amount. I'll probably do that shit. And I'll live stream every day and keep doing my other content. Like it's light work. Man, like what? Because I have a different mindset though. I have a way different mindset. Depending on the state they were in, recording them without permission could be illegal. True. No, him sliding in the DMs and failing. Yeah, he slid in the DMs. Trying to tell her how nice she looked. Bang gang all day, every day. Yeah, Candace is spilling all the tea. She not hiding the tea. She's petty. She won't let it out. Let's see. Okay, your dog's annoying. Effing ads. Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Ooh. I'm telling you, man, I used to love Kenan and Kel. And then I watched it again, like when I got older, and I was like, damn, Kenan's actually pretty fucking funny. When you're a kid, you don't really notice that shit. Majority of people don't notice that the quote unquote straight man is the funny one. And the one that's doing all the craziness and whatever, they get the most attention, right? And sometimes distract from the actual joke. Because think about that. I didn't even realize Kenan was saying funny jokes because Kel was so fucking hilarious to me. Because Kel was doing all this crazy shit. I was paying attention to what Kel gonna do. Kel gonna run in there and backflip over the couch. What Kel gonna do? So I didn't pay attention. So yeah, the person that's doing that and that mix, that comedy type of duo, they're going to be the ones that get the attention. And what if they don't have any sense of direction for how the show's going because it's not their show? Then you got somebody leading a basketball game and the ball's getting thrown all into the crowd. Like, what if this is a real game? You think the Globetrotters going to come in to the NBA and get any of that bullshit off? Hell no. So imagine someone leading and steering the ship in a Globetrotter way, but this is the NBA. You like, nigga, we can't do all of this craziness, right? That's why, like, when it comes to me, I don't work well in a format where it's I have to be the straight man. If I have to be the party police, it never fucking works out, bro. If it's not frustration for myself because I don't feel like I should have to be the fucking party police, I should be able to have fun on my own fucking podcast, on my own show. I should be able to enjoy it as well and not just fucking be the one taking it serious while everyone else has fun. If it's not frustration from that, it's a whole bunch of other shit that other people get a little too crazy. Because if you think about it, I talked about this a little bit. I never went into extreme detail. But before I really got into being a YouTuber and doing those other stuff, I was in a podcast that didn't work out well. And the reason why is because I left. And that might sound like that's some cocky-ish. No, we were doing well, or doing decent enough to where we was on the right track. But then once I started peeping certain shit and while I'm fucking doing the show, I think I remember my last episode. We only got up to like maybe 5 episodes and we was audio only. It wasn't even on like YouTube or anything. They went on YouTube after the fact after I left and they haven't done well. Right. But we was doing this one fucking podcast. I think we was talking about like some superhero movie and everyone knows I'm a DC fan. Right. So the amount of fucking like, I think it got to disrespect. It was like clowning and laughter, but it got to a level of disrespect because I wasn't able to say a fucking word, nigga. And I remember being vividly angry. Like, this is the worst episode we ever did. And they're like, what? We had mad fun. I'm like, word? Listen to that shit again. Right? And when you peep, they was like, oh, damn, you wasn't talking. I'm like, nigga, it wasn't that I wasn't. So I couldn't get a fucking word in. Because every time I was about to say something, you would cut me off. Everyone was cutting me off to say some bullshit or tell their 20-minute long story. And I'm like, nigga, I can't get a fucking word in. This is the worst podcast ever. There's no order to this shit. But guess what? There wasn't no one to regulate because they expected me to do it. They literally said, we had meetings where they literally called me the party police. Like, yo, you're the one that can ring us on. I'm like, nigga, I don't want to do that. The fuck? Nigga, get a fucking producer. So there was someone else if this was literally their podcast, they was the producer and they didn't want to do it. So they tried to put the responsibility on me. I'm like, nigga, so let's get someone else, nigga. How about this new person that you just decided to inject into the fucking podcast? How about that's their job? Like, I didn't even think we should have that many people. Fuck it. It makes no sense to have 4 to 5 people on a fucking podcast. Everyone yelling and trying to snatch the mic. And it was stupid, bro. And they failed at the LF and admitted that shit. I talked to the niggas, like the person who's producing it, like, I think a year after the fact. And the niggas complaining to me, man, people ain't taking this serious. Everyone's over talking to each other. I'm like, oh, y'all thought I was just making that shit up when I said that. Like, damn, yeah, I see why you left. Yeah, nigga, that shit was a ship that was sinking, bro. I like things to run with an order, right? I'm not a like super drill sergeant, but my nigga, if you work with me and you find me too difficult, it's because you fucking lazy or you want to be a star. It's one of the fucking two. You lazy as fuck or you want to be a superstar that think that you don't have to fucking play well with the team. You want to be Jordan, but you didn't even put in enough work to be pimping. Those are the only 2 options. And I'm talking about if we collab, do reactions, podcast, anything in the nature. Man, if you say I'm too hard, it's because you're lazy. Because all I'm asking for is fucking structure, nigga. Like, people be doing the bare minimum. I was watching these 2 different podcasts beef recently. And when one of the podcasters said that to the other ones, like, yo, y'all the bare minimum boys. Y'all do the bare minimum. Y'all don't never work extra hard. You don't never put the time in. You haven't read one book about podcasting. You don't know none of that shit. And I felt that. I was like, damn, facts. I've read multiple books about podcasting before I even thought to start a podcast. When podcasting first started, I read books about podcasting. Think about that. I didn't start a podcast until what? 5-10 years later, probably. When podcasts first started, I'm talking about when you have to go to like some weird back website to get into this room to actually watch your favorite podcaster be able to do this shit, or you can only listen to audio only. Man, I was reading books on podcasting and entertainment and things of that nature and radio hosting and shit like that back then. Not because I wanted to do it. I just found it interesting. I was like, oh, let me learn about this side of things. I didn't think that podcasting was going to blow the fuck up. Not to the degree that it is now, right? I didn't even know I was going to have a podcast, but I just found it interesting. So I used to read books on everything. I've read books on how to play basketball when I was a little kid. So how to skateboard. I used to read like a motherfucker. Because that's just how my brain works. So you got people that jump into this shit and they don't even take the fucking effort to learn the basics, which means they don't really want the shit. They want the good side. They don't want all the things that it takes to get to that point. Everybody wants to be Jay-Z. They didn't realize Jay-Z was a rapper that was independent that couldn't get a deal to save his life for years. Jay-Z used to battle famous rappers. Even if he won, they would be like, huh, and that's why I'm the one with the deal. Think about that. Right? Everybody want to be Jay-Z now. They don't want to be Jay-Z on the come up. Everybody want to be Drake now. They want to be Drake on the come up. Everyone wants the final fucking product. They want easy bake. They want that microwave success, but don't want to actually put the work in. So when you have a bunch of characters and everybody wants to be a fucking superstar, they all think that they Howard Stern, but they didn't put in the time or the effort to be Howard Stern. There's going to be a conflict of interest. Me personally, I don't mind fucking being a co-host. Like, that's the thing. If it's on the BX Beast Boys show, I'm the host, motherfucker. But nigga, if someone like bigger, right, that had a bigger platform and invited me to be a co-host on their show, nigga, I would kill that shit. And they would never have any of these complaints about me because I know how to play my fucking role, bro. In order to be the boss, you have to know how it feels to be a worker. In order to be a leader, you have to know how it feels to follow. You have to have the experience of having good leaders. You have to have the experience of having bad leaders before you even got the opportunity for you to lead. People want to lead and don't know what the fuck they doing. That sounds crazy to me, but this is a reality. This is like 99% of entertainment. People want to rap. They don't got no music. Yeah, I'm a rapper. Word. Let me hear some songs. Well, I ain't been able to get to a studio. Get to a studio? Nigga, you could go buy you some software and a mic and record like that and start learning how to get into your shit within a week. You know how many songs you could probably get done if you were motivated? I remember this point in my life when I was active in music. I ain't gonna front, I'm kind of getting lazy now. But at a point when music was my number one, and people would tell me, yeah, man, I can't record because I can't get this. That shit would make me look at them with the confused face. Huh? What do you mean? It took me going to the studio like 4 times before I got smart. Right? Before I went in there, I was like, hey, excuse me, Mr. Engineer, man, how much is a mic like this? Okay. What software are you using? Oh, all right. How do you do this? And then I just skipped the studio. So when everybody was spending money going to the studio, I just saved that money and then bought all the equipment and then was recording at my house and then went to the studio like maybe 2 more times just to ask questions. And the studio owner respected that. Not only did he respect it, he gave me a bunch of sound effects and mad advice and tips and helped me train my ear all because no one ever did that. No one ever took the initiative to be like, nigga, I want to do this. Nigga, maybe I might not have money to go to the studio. Let me spend the money I have now to be able to record for the rest of my life whenever I want to. If motherfuckers don't even have the fucking, I guess, incentive or maybe even the thought, just the thought process to do something like that, then chances are they never gonna be a boss. Being a boss was never in their cards. Being their own boss and being in control of their own music was probably never in their fucking destiny because you didn't even think to invest in your own self to where you would just build your own studio. It don't have to be fancy. A mic, some headphones, laptop, software. You could get it in immediately. It don't take that much. They sell it as a set. I remember the first time one of my friends, he eventually got it because he saw me doing it. And he went and found a package for a cheap ass price for a mic, the fucking audio interface. He already had the laptop and some speakers. And he started recording. I'm like, see, nigga, it's not even that hard. The next thing you know, the studio that I was going to hired me as a fucking engineer. And now I was getting paid to record people. How did I learn these skills? Because I went and learned myself. To where now at any drop of a hat, I could create an album and put out music right now if I wanted to. Who says I didn't? Who says I didn't make up some name of a alternate personality of mine, create a YouTube channel, and start putting out R&B music? Who says I didn't do that already? And I just never really promoted it hard. Who says? So it's like, fam, you gotta have an independent mindset if you want to be the boss. But there's so many people that want to be a boss, but they don't want to work hard to become the boss. They want a boss position handed to them. And then when they fuck it up and fuck up opportunities, they like, damn, how did I mess this up? It's because you didn't have the experience. You didn't have the knowledge. You didn't take the time, bro. You weren't ready. If you're a man and you want like an Instagram model or a fine chick or just something that's pretty or cute and something that's like good, and you don't really deserve that because you ain't shit, but then you so happen to get lucky and get that, when you fuck that up, it's going to hurt you deeply, my nigga. Deeper than what the fuck you even care to say, nigga. Even if you get past it in the future, whatever. In the moment, nigga, you got 2 choices. You could be sad, man, or you could realize, damn, I wasn't doing this. I fucked up this way. I could have been better this way. This happens for the woman you want or the job that you wanted or the opportunity that you wanted. When you fuck it up, there's 2 ways to react. One way that makes you stronger, one way that makes you weak. The strong way is to realize all faults and where you didn't have the knowledge. Now go get the fucking knowledge. You fucked up in this job opportunity because you didn't have this knowledge? All right, whatever. Take that on the chin. Now go get the knowledge. It's part of the game, man. They're like, there's differences between a normal worker and a boss. The problem in society today is everybody want to be a boss. I'll tell you right now, as someone who has been a worker and someone who is a boss, being a boss is not all as cracked up it is to be, nigga. This shit is playing Jeopardy. I'm rolling dice every fucking month, nigga. My income is dependent on how much work I put in for real. I gave up a 9 to 5, 8 hours for 20 hours a day. I'm doing those type of shifts, but I love it. This is what I'm meant for. Other people are not meant for that type of shit. They don't make those sacrifices. They see me and be like, oh, BX Beast Boy, he got subscribers. He has a fan base. Ooh, let me try to get him to help me so I could shortcut it and have to go through all of that shit. It's like, damn. Nigga, like, when I see that type of shit, that's the shit that make me never want to help nobody, bro. When I see up and coming creators, the ones that are begging for me to help them, I never fucking help. I won't even answer your message if I do see it in the first place. I don't give a fuck what it is. I help the motherfuckers that's working hard. You put in time. How the fuck it look? I'm putting out 10 to 20 videos a day. Niggas put out one video a year. So I'm like, hey, BX, is there any advice you can give me? Work harder, nigga. Don't ask me for nothing else. Don't ask me for no fucking shout out. Niggas be asking me to collab. Motherfuckers be asking me to do interviews with them. I'm telling you, this shit be hilarious. And I'm not going to lie. I'll straight up shit on somebody. I shit on this one guy. Hey, man, can you come and do an interview? I think it would be dope. I looked at their channel. Nigga got 2 videos, 10 subscribers. I was like, no. Oh, why not? Because you ain't work hard enough yet. The fuck is wrong with you? How dare you ask to interview me and you got 2 fucking videos, my nigga? I'm going to need to see at least 50. I want to need to see a clean 50. Not no bullshit either. I'm going to need to see some live streams. It's not about numbers, but get your numbers up. It literally just means you worked harder. If you're consistent, your numbers will go up. So work harder, your numbers go up. That shows me that you're being consistent and you're taking this serious. I don't just do interviews for nobody. You know what I'm talking about? You got to come like vouch by somebody. The last interview I did, my moderator vouched for the person. And I was like, if your word is good, I'm rocking with them. You said that? You said that they good? They good peoples? I'll do an interview with them because you said they was good peoples. That's usually how you get an interview with me. If my people rock with you, right? Or collabs. Like I think the last collab I did was probably with Chill Rock. And he is a dope ass person, man. I really fuck with him. Works hard as fuck. Works hard as hell. So I'm like, hey, man, come through, man. Let's do some reactions, man. Came through. We knocked out reactions. The shit was amazing, bro. Shit was amazing. Man, it was easy. I was like, whoo, man. I'm used to a different workflow. From just like a lot of other YouTubers I've collabed with. I would say the most fun I've had collabing was probably with Chill Rock. That shit was fun as fuck. Because it was like, nigga, we already know what we do. We both do reactions. Let's knock this shit out, man. Let's light one up and have a good time. And it was fun, bro. And it's because he came on time. If he couldn't make it on time, he would fucking let me know or whatever. Came on time, was about his business. We still was chilling and we've hung out on some shit that had nothing to do with creating content after the fact because he's just a genuinely cool person. And nigga, if that motherfucker asked me to collab and do a fucking reaction with him, no problem. If he was like, yo, man, let me interview you or just come on my live stream, man, let's kick it. No problem. Because not only is he putting in the work and I know he's serious, but it was also a fun time working with him. Why would I not want to work with him again? So shout out to Chill Rock. Really cool person. See what you guys saying in the chat. Kind of like the normal person. Non-comedic, non-dramatic, no nonsense. A sidekick. Oh, she's asking what a straight man meant. Yeah. You said I have opinions and insights on this drama. Let me hear it. So, I want to hear your guys' opinions. What's your opinion? Said not necessarily a sidekick. I was there. Straight man. Yeah, straight man is like not a sidekick, but from the audience perspective, you would see him as a sidekick. From the comedic perspective, he's not a sidekick. He's like an equal partner. They both supposed to be comedians, but he's the one that sets up the funniness. He's a setup person. He sets up the punchlines, right? And his partner usually gets all the credit for the jokes and comedy because he's the one that's doing the funny shit, right? But without the straight man, he would never even be able to get those jokes off. Usually without the straight man, the other comedian doesn't really maintain successful. But what I've noticed, the person is always like the one that's the funniest person in a duo. Whenever they go solo, because they don't have someone to set the jokes up for them, they have a hard time doing it themselves, and they usually fall. Look at Kel. Kel had a huge fall. I think he was doing fucking kung fu fighting movies. But yeah. I Met Your Mother, the main character is the straight man. Not even a co-host. He's actually introduced as third chair. Yeah. The main cat, that's his perspective because he's the more passive person, right? You talk about Ted Mosby. That's crazy. I know his whole name and everything because I watched that show. He's the straight man. He's more of the passive character. Everyone else around him are the funny ones. You see, that's a good example. That was a great example. Great example, Tor. I don't want to run my show like I'm Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother, where I bring in a bunch of different funny characters and I'm just like, oh, look, that's crazy. And everyone else is doing it. No, that's not my style. I've always been the Howard Stern character, right? So, and I said this on Twitter and I fucking will say this to the high heavens. If I ever get a Robin, it's a wrap, nigga. I think that Robin made the Howard Stern show what it is. Like, I need that partner in crime that knows their job. Back me up. Back me up. I even give you your own segment. But I need someone that's like fully prepared to be like, yo, listen, this is the BX Beats Boys show. I'm going to do what I need to get done to make sure this show is good. Right? Like, and assist me. Ad-lib. Do fucking weather or something. If you want to do a weather report, do a weather report. Or do the news, something of that nature. Cool. Tell me the tea for 10 minutes or whatever. But nigga, like in order for me to get the perfect, and I'm telling you, the moment I get this type of co-host, my podcast is going to fucking go viral. I know it, bro. Because then I'm going to have the freedom to be like, all right, now I don't have to worry about that side. Now I could fully fucking be myself and wild out. Right? Like, now I could really go in. I'm telling you, nigga. But yeah, I think that she was a blessing to his show. Howard Stern is Howard Stern regardless, but without Robin, bro, I'm telling you, nigga, like, yes, her being the straight man is very important, but that's her role. She's not forced into that role. She came in as that role. I'm gonna come in and do the weather. And then Howard's just like, let me ask you some questions while you're here. And then her reacting to him being crazy is what made the show work. I can't have someone else that's crazy. I'm crazy, nigga. I can't have two crazies, and it's just gonna be nonsense. That's like the DeSusa and Mero show. I fucking hated that show. There's a lot of people that liked it, but I was like, there's no order. It's all over the fucking place. Need somebody to fall back and play the sideline a little bit for the show to really shine. It's just the way I feel. Joe Budden's show was one of my favorite podcasts of all time. It's because he had co-hosts that played the side. Once they started feeling themselves and getting a little too happy, that's when the podcast fell, bro. I'm telling you, I study this shit. I study formats. I know what's going to work based off of personalities. I know what's going to work off my personality. I'm Howard Stern, nigga. I can't have no co-host that's not a Robin. If I have someone that could be a guest who could be as crazy as they fucking want to be, cool. But when it comes to co-hosts, where we hosting shows like 5 days a week type shit, 3 days a week, whatever, yeah, I need someone that's like Robin. He says all his complaints are BS when you can watch past shows and actually see his complaints are false. Yeah. Such the adverse for his show, which he said Crowder wouldn't allow, when in fact Crowder actually advertised Landu shows every single episode. I saw that too. I did see that too. Where I was like, yo, you lying. Apparently he clarified that, but it did seem like he was playing victim. There was like some things, like I would say like maybe a small percentage of what he was saying. I was like, that is some hypocrisy shit. But like the light thing and him not being able to promote his shows, that was bullshit. That was bullshit. Don't put that on him. His whole thing was like, you didn't want to let me get shine. Because he wants to spread that narrative of I'm funnier than him. It's like, yo, bro, chill out. Even if you are, who cares?